Take a breath, love, you're not too far gone. Hold on, you were made strong.
Hey, this is your girl Rochelle from the Eyes of a Daddy's Girl podcast. Welcome. Today, I want to tell you just a little bit about my podcast, why it started. I started this podcast because I lost my father in March of 2024 suddenly, and I needed a space. The things that I was looking for when I lost my dad, I felt like it was necessary for me to implement something for other daughters that are going through, whether it's grieving the relationship of their father because of death, whether it's wanting to have a relationship with somebody else, any type of grief really, parenting issues, relationship issues, just things to be able to help us as women navigate and have a safe space. So I wanted to do that, and it's really been heavy on my heart. And I kind of ran from it for about 2 years, and God said, it's time out. So now that's what the podcast is about, to help all my ladies that are navigating in one season or another, to help them get to their next level and we can grow together. So today we're talking about two daughters on two different journeys. One is having a relationship with your father from the beginning, and one is developing a relationship with your father later in life. And so my dad was James Boyd, and he and I were like super best friends. He was my go-to person, my prayer warrior, pretty much anything that you can imagine, I was able to go to my dad about. He was not a father that was gonna go by, if I'm wrong, he's gonna address it. There have been many a times when I would go to him and say, Daddy, well, what do you think I should do? And he was like always going to come back and give me a scripture, or tell me to ask God about it, or he's going to give me something biblical. He didn't give me what he would think or what he would say. He always brought it back to a spiritual sense. And even up until he actually transitioned, even through that whole process, he never complained. He was just that ideal guy. And watching him grow up, even though he mentored many of kids, he worked with seniors, and he never shortcut me or my brother. I mean, we still got his attention, even though he was very, very busy, very involved in the community. He always gave us our time. And so I can go back as far as when I was a little girl, he was coaching baseball, and he had my playpen on the field so he could have me with him. So, and then after he was there, always there for me, but after I got to having children, he was that same type of support system for my kids, whatever they needed. If it was something that they could call their papa and say, Papa, I need this, or Papa, I need that. And even though we lived in two different states after I moved away, he made sure that he came and spent time with us at least 2 to 3 times out of the year. And he was even like that with my husband. So all I can say is that having him in my life really impacted me. And it made me to always want to be a better person. It helped me to know that even on my lowest moments, that when I felt like I couldn't go forward, he made me feel like I could accomplish anything. And so I think that having that really helped to shape me into who I am, to have the stick-to-itness and to be able to lean in on my faith when I feel like I can't keep going. And even now, since he's gone, I sit back and I think about things that he said when I be like, oh man, I wish I could call my dad and ask him this, or man, I wish I could talk to my dad. It's almost like instantly something he told me is downloaded in my spirit, and I'm able to say, okay, I know that's what I'm supposed to be doing now because I feel that, but that comes from the time that we spent, that comes from the investment that he made into me, and that comes with me watching the walk. It wasn't, oh, I'm just saying it. He actually lived the walk from start to finish. And so I think with him showing me that helped me to say, hey, you know what? I seen my dad go through some tough times and he never gave up. Even as he was dying, he could have said, oh, I hate God. He could have said, man, I'm mad. He wasn't angry. He said, I trust God no matter what. He's going to heal me in this lifetime, or he's going to heal me and he's going to take me to heaven. Either way, I'm good. And so being able to watch him to walk through that really made me say, you know what? It's no reason for me to complain, because no matter what, I have to trust that God is going to make it okay. Whether it's my okay or his okay. He sees what I don't see. So just having him there to be a support for me and my family, really has made a big impact, even on my sons. Like, one of them went to Africa, and that was what my dad did. And so it's like, and both of them are going to school for engineering. And that's what my father was. He went to school for engineering. So just seeing the things that they're doing, how he played a part in that, has been amazing. But I'm going to stop talking about my dad for a bit, because I want you to be able to, number one, to tell us about you and tell us about what made you decide to accept to be on this podcast, and tell us a little bit about you and your dad.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Alicia, and my experience with my father is completely different. I would love to have had a father like yours, but unfortunately, it wasn't that. So I was in the foster system. I never knew my dad, never knew his name. I was taken from my mother at the age of 3. At the age of 7, I was adopted by a family in which I thought that was my second chance of love from a mother and a father. Unfortunately, that wasn't it. During that time with them, I call it like I was Cinderella.
Okay.
I had the wicked stepsisters while I would cook and clean, and they would sit and do nothing. For me, being in that household, I always wanted attention. I was a people pleaser, because I would come home from school, cook dinner, and want their approval. Like, look at me. And it was never like that. It was all about money. So throughout my life, I was always searching for love all in the wrong places, was in relationships that I shouldn't have been in. I never had a relationship with my adopted parents because they never treated me as their child. I was just a check for them. So at the age of 17, I got pregnant. And I told my adopted mother that I was pregnant, and she kicked me out. When she told my adoptive father, my father like changed. He tried to have sex with me, basically. So I left the house and I went into a um, teenage pregnant shelter. And that's when I had my baby.
Wow. You sometimes you don't even realize the things that people have to endure when they don't have the safe space of having parents. You
Hmm.
know, those are things that I think that sometimes people take for granted because
Right.
they'll say, "Oh, well, my dad wasn't this way or my mom wasn't this way," but you had them. You know what I'm saying? And so for somebody like you, unfortunately, that has to go through the system, it's like it affects your everyday life. You know,
Absolutely.
you're hoping you have somebody to say, "Hey, I just want you to know I love you," you know, and
Right.
you can't even get that. And so that really had to be hurtful, just having to deal with that, you know?
Right. Because I thought that I had a second chance.
Mm, mm,
You
mm,
know, this family wanted to adopt myself and my other sibling, but it was all fake.
mm, mm,
So
mm.
yeah, you grow up searching for love and wanting that love.
Which takes you down a whole different spiral because then
Oh
like you
yeah.
say you get to dating people and you like when you now that you're out of it you'll sit back and say, man, how did I get into this is definitely not, but I think that the desire to want that type of love will
Right.
cause you to tolerate things from people that you ordinarily wouldn't tolerate because you like, well, at least they showing me some type of attention.
Yeah. Any attention is better than no attention.
Mhm.
And it's funny because I always dated older men
Mhm.
because I wanted that stability and that safeness. But these men that I was dating, they needed help.
Mhm. Yeah. I can see that, like they say, hurt people.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of times that's what happens,
Hmm.
not making excuses for anybody because I mean you think about it. I can tell you there's been times that I was angry or upset about something and I took it out on somebody that had nothing to do with it.
Hmm.
But you just it's like your way of coping, let me just figure this out, I mean, so I understand. I can see that, they needed to be healed and they weren't, so they did the things that they shouldn't do to you.
Right.
Um,
And I was angry, throughout my life, I was angry and I held it in. And in 2015, I finally decided to take the mask off. And I guess we'll talk about that a little later.
so take us back to the moment that your father actually came into your life and what was going through your mind.
Okay, so it's funny because one of my girlfriends said, "Why don't you um why don't you go and get like an ancestry.com like kit?" She was like, "I got a feeling you may find your family. You just never know." So I was like, "You know what? Why not?" So I did it. I did the swab. It came. So my youngest daughter and I was just waiting for the results because when you do the ancestry, it tracks it. Okay, that it says, "Well, the kit came to the office. Now we are testing your the swab." Okay, and then it says, "Okay, we're done." And then they'll give you an email saying, well, here's the results. So the results came in. So it said that I match with a close family. Close family? I was like, cool. Because mind you, when I did the ancestry, I was looking for my mother. I wasn't looking for my father. Remember, I didn't know. I didn't know
Yeah.
my father. And actually, I only saw my mother twice in my whole life, but I knew her name.
Okay.
So the close family member was my aunt. So I sent her a message. I asked, and I just said, "Hi, my name is Alicia." Da, 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 da. And she was like, "No, I don't know anything." Then I said, "Well, do you have a brother?" Then I gave her my mother's name. And she said, "Well, let me call my brother." So she calls her brother, and my father goes, "Yeah, I do know her. I know her mother. She has a son named and a daughter." And she came back through the and messaged me and said, "My father said, my brother said that he knows your mother." When I say I almost jumped back, I was like, I said, "I think that's my father." So she says, "Okay, well, let me ask him." She calls him back, and he said, "Yes, she does have a daughter, and that may be my daughter." Now, mind you, my aunt never knew me, never knew nothing of me. So this is new to her. So he says, give her my number so she can call me." I called him, and we were talking, and he said, "I'm your father." And that was it. Yeah.
Wow. That's one of those things that it takes your breath away. Like,
It
wow.
did. It really did,
Oh,
because
man.
when he said that he may be my father, what? Remember, I didn't know the name of who my father is. I didn't know anything. So we called each other, we FaceTime each other, and we FaceTime each other for about maybe 2 years. Then I finally went to go see him for the first time.
Okay.
Rochelle, it felt like I was a little kid. He picked me up with his childhood best friend.
Wow.
And seeing him face to face was like, wow. Because when you're a foster child and don't know your family, you want to know where you belong. Who do you
Yeah.
look like? And so when I seen him, I was like, this man is a part of me. So I sat in the back, and he was like, are you hungry? I was like, yeah. But I saw myself like a 5-year-old. Like I could see myself in a little dress, just swinging my legs. My hair was in like pigtails. Like I just saw myself as that little girl, and my inner child needed this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
Wow.
so I spent the weekend with him.
Okay. How was that?
It was nice. That's when I met my aunts. I have 3 aunts, and it was kind of a little hurtful because no one knew who I was.
Mm,
They was like, who is this woman?
well, so so where did things leave off? I mean, where are you guys at today?
Um, we're not close. It's not like we have that daughter, father and daughter relationship. But I do call him. He was in the hospital. He was very sick. So I call him from time to time. But we're not close. We may talk like once every 2 weeks.
Mhm. Mhm. So, what would you want people to understand about reconnecting with a parent later in life?
So I'm just telling my experience. For me, I feel like, and I'm gonna be honest, there's no difference. Like I'm so used to not having a father figure. So let me just take it back. So one day it was just raining, and I was thinking about him, and I wrote him this long text, just telling him about himself, and if my mother was here, about herself. But I just let him have it. And to tell you the truth, I didn't care if he ever talked to me again. It I didn't care, but I had to let that out.
Mhm.
I said the things that I went through wasn't me. I didn't ask to be here.
Yeah.
And then I just told him about his family. No one knew. No one knew of me.
Mm, mm, mm. Wow.
And he has other kids, and I met two of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and so we do talk from time to time, but the
Okay.
others, they choose not to speak to me, and that's okay. And
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. So, how would you say you continue protecting your own healing while I'm still honoring your father?
For me, I do call him, like I said, from time to time, but I see I still have a wall up. I'm not used to it. I'm really not used to it. And I could go a long time without speaking to him because he wasn't in my life. He wasn't in my world. So
So, if you could tell your younger self one thing about your father journey, what would it be?
I can't really tell her anything because I don't know him. I really don't know him. All I know, he had other kids. I heard that he was out there. There's nothing I can tell my younger self.
Okay. So, if you could say something to the fathers out there who don't realize how much their daughters need them, what would you say?
They have to remember they are the first love to their daughters and sons.
Yeah.
As a woman, you're supposed to look up to your father.
Mhm.
You're supposed to, and that's what they say. Um, little girls want their husbands to be like their dad.
Yeah.
But let me say this. I met a man just like my father and didn't know my father. My kid's father was out there, didn't take care of his kids,
Mm,
but expect my daughter to be cool with him. I think my kids seen their father maybe 5 times.
Hear us, we stay.
So I met a man just like him.
Take a breath, love. You're not too far gone. Hold on,
I think,
you
you
were made
know,
strong.
if I could tell the fathers something, I think it's important to remember that even if you don't have a good relationship with the mom, the children don't deserve to get hurt in that. They deserve to have their father present no matter what that looks like. Even if y'all don't get along and you have to get your kids from your sister, your mother, because you and her bump heads,
Mhm.
it is essential that you are present in your kids' lives because I think about how my son, he had so many people around him and the difference I could see the difference, well, not just my sons, I could see the difference how they acted having their father present
Mhm.
versus some of their friends that didn't. And you know, people say that it doesn't matter that the mother can raise them, and I'm not saying mothers can't, because we can raise them, but there are things as mothers we honestly cannot do, and it's things that we cannot fulfill in
Right.
ours, no matter how much we love on them. When they need their father, they need their father. So I think
Yes.
for me, being able to for them to understand that your relationship with your children matter no matter
Yes.
what. Even if the money, you don't have the money that you need,
Time.
children like time, you know. And I think that that's sometimes that kills a lot of guys relationship, because they say, oh, I don't have the money, or the mother's like, well, if you ain't got nothing that you can give me, then you can't see your kids, you
Mhm.
know. So then on the other side, the mothers need to understand, stop trying to hold your kids hostage and not allowing the father to see them because he's not doing what it is that you feel like he should do, you
Right.
know. um because you're hurting them. You're not hurt. Yes, you may be hurting the father to a degree, but you're really hurting your kids, you know. And so I think that is so unfair. You know, we can acknowledge, because I know so many different guys that are awesome fathers, but they deal with drama baby mamas, and they play mental games because they don't want them anymore or whatever, and so they're
Right.
like, oh, you can't see your kids, and I'm like, what is that? I mean,
Right.
you're hurting him, yes, but in the long run, the kids are the one that's going to be hurt the most, you know. And I think that the mothers need to understand, stop playing games. Your kids' lives are depending on it, you know. Um,
And they carry
so
that. They carry
yeah,
that throughout their life.
yes,
Like
yes, and
how I said, I was just searching for love because you just want to be loved. So they
yeah.
start being in relationships that they shouldn't have been.
Yeah, most definitely. I definitely see that. You know, if you don't
Hmm.
have, when you're looking for something, you like, hey, so something is better than nothing, and
Hmm.
that's what they kind of get into. Um, I think one of the things is, um, for daughters, you know, I would kind of say, and I'm gonna ask you too, for to the daughters that have never experienced the relationship she hoped for, what I would say to encourage her is, you know, you can't make a person be present if they don't want to be present. And I think for me, helping them to understand that if you don't, and everybody doesn't have a relationship with God either. So, but I will say this, sometimes you have to lean into God to allow him to be that father. But also sometimes you have to say, hey, please send somebody to me. That it may be a teacher, it could be somebody at church, somebody that's a father figure to me, that's not gonna take advantage of me, that really truly has my best interest at heart. And because that's possible, or you can have the mom can get remarried, and the stepfather step in and be a better father than the actual father. So I
Mhm.
think being able to let them know that, hey, that even though your father wasn't present, God can send you a whole nother support person. You have to really be willing to really say, hey, but you got to be specific. I tell people, I don't want to be. I've learned now in this season, I can't just randomly say something. I have to be specific on what I'm looking for, because you never know. But I think that's kind of what my take is, to tell daughters, you just have to really find somebody, that ask God to send somebody that'll be step into that role, or lean into your heavenly Father. I mean, and I don't just say that, because sometimes that's, even though I love God. But and people tell me now, they like, oh, well, you have to depend on God. I'm like, I can depend on God. I do. I love Him and everything, but it doesn't replace the human love. As
Mhm.
far as I can't hug God. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can say it. Oh, you wrap your arms around me, but I can't physically hug Him. So sometimes you need that. There are times, and I know it's been nothing for me but God that has allowed me to be able to make it there. So I'm not discounting Him at all. But there are some times that you need physical attention and affection from a father figure. And so I think that them knowing that there's other options, that there's other options out there. What would you say?
Well, that's what I thought. When I got adopted, with this family, I thought that was my second chance, but it wasn't. So like I said, throughout my life, um, I was just searching for love, and I was angry. I was, reckless, but I had to love myself.
Mhm.
And that came later on in life. I had to really look deep inside myself,
Mhm.
and and figure out, what do I want? What
Okay.
am I going to stand for? And that's when I went on my healing journey. And things
Okay.
came and things came up. Because I was pointing the fingers, like, at my ex-husband, at this one, at that one, and that one, and instead of pointing the finger at me. And once I realized, yes, I had issues too, abandonment issues, insecurity. So I really had to work on me. And that's when I started, like, loving myself. Things changed.
Yeah, definitely. So I want to kind of wrap up with this question, and then I want you to be able to tell how they can reach you and find you. But when people finish listening to this conversation we had today, what is one thing you hope every daughter walks away believing about herself?
I want every daughter to believe about themselves, that they are lovable. I don't want them to think that no one will love me, or feeling that they will never get the love that they deserve, because they can, but it starts with them. Love
Yeah.
yourself. Start working on yourself. Everything else is gonna come at the right
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I think what I would want them to know is that they matter.
Mhm.
Uh, that it's okay to put boundaries in place.
Mhm.
It's okay for them to say, no, that doesn't feel good for me. No, I don't like that. Not to tolerate something just because you feel like you have to. Um, Making sure that you put yourself first. I think a lot of times we make the biggest mistake because we feel like we want to be, oh, I want to do this I got to do this for you, I got to do this for you.
Right.
But you have to put yourself first,
Mhm.
because if you don't, how do you know what you need? And then you have to be in touch with yourself. Like, what is it that you are looking for? What is it that you need? And start speaking life over yourself, speaking, using affirmations, whatever that
Mhm.
looks like for you, whether it's meditating, praying. Start implementing those things. Do
Right.
things to make you feel better, whether that's going to get a massage. I mean, I hear people say, oh, I can't afford that. Well, maybe if you stop spending money on your kids or spending money on other people, you can. And I'm not telling anybody not to take care of their kids. That's not what I'm saying. But there are times that we go over and above and we're buying stuff. Maybe you can't buy Jordans this time. Maybe just go buy some nice Nikes or some
Yeah.
nice Adidas,
Yeah.
but if you don't take care of you, nobody else don't take care of you like that. And
Right.
so it's relearning that because you're spending money does not mean that that's everything. Take care of you first.
And
Um,
when you say take care of you, and it's not all about material things,
mhm,
take care of your heart, take
mhm.
care of yourself. Like you said, take a day out and treat yourself.
Yep. Yeah.
Like you said, the massage or whatever. I always take care of me. I don't care if it's going to the park and sitting. That's my time to
Yeah.
meditate, to clear my mind.
I
Hmm.
also tell people, like, I have a lot of people that are daughters that are caregivers and that are, in different roles, and they say, "Well, I don't really get a chance to get away." And what I will say to that is, maybe you can't physically go somewhere, but make your bathroom your safe haven. Go in there and put you some candles and music, and hey, whoever your kids, mama, daddy, whoever it is, they gonna be okay. You go and take care of you, or maybe you can go sit out on your back porch or the patio or whatever that looks like. But you have to figure out how to implement things and be creative, because if not, guess what? You're gonna fall apart. You're gonna realize real fast your body's not designed to keep pushing. It's designed for you to take care of the daughter that you are. Be the best version of yourself
Right.
as a woman, as a young lady, so that way all the other titles that you have, you can be the best version of that. But if you're not good, nobody else can be good. I mean, how does that work? Um, but I want to make sure that you're able to tell the people how they can hear you, find you, before we get off the call.
Okay, so you could go to my YouTube channel. It's I am more than enough, period, and that's period spell out podcast. Also, you can find me on IG. I am more than enough, period underscore after each word. Yeah,
That sounds good.
yeah, I
Go and
think
check
so.
her out. Go and check her out. Go and check her out. She's always and she's always got some good stuff talking to somebody on that she's got
Yes,
on her show. So go and check her out. Um,
yes,
I definitely appreciate you for coming on, because it's been crazy. We've been hit or miss. Both of our schedules have been crazy. So being able to have you on, it's been wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I'll just say my what I always like to say, your story isn't over. Your
no, it's
purpose is
not.
still Look, your purpose is still unfolding. Keep healing, keep growing, keep becoming.